I'm the Irish guy, and okay, I get it. Some of you don't want to hear this. But today, I'm going to take a look at every Premier League club and find one player who has been presented with an exciting transfer exit away from your club this summer. An offer that would probably make him squeal like a pig in porridge. Honestly, some of you are going to be nervous when you see what sort of teams are after your players. A bit like if you saw Zac Efron eyeing up your wife. Right, let's go. Arsenal, Thomas Partey, Al Ali. Okay, look, on paper, if money did not exist, if there was no such thing as currency, and instead people just survive by instead feasting on the elderly, then a move away from a Champions League and Premier League giant like Arsenal to some Saudi desert, that really wouldn't be seen as an exciting upgrade, leaving behind an ambitious, hungry European team. So instead, go and spend your Monday afternoons kissing camels and trying not to drop your banana sandwich in the sand. It isn't exactly a Dear Diary moment. I'm sure if Thomas Partey rang home and told the family that he was now swapping Arsenal for Al Ali, his granddad would probably call him a failure and hang up the phone. But the reason why the Partey household should be dancing like wild lemurs after too much sugar at the zoo is because he's apparently been offered a $200 million annual wage. Yeah, that's £157 million a year. That is £3 million a week. That would make Partey the second best paid footballer of all time. Only second in the Football Forbes list to Cristiano Ronaldo. Yes, Thomas Partey, someone who at best is just the Ghanaian Owen Hargreaves. A decent midfield powerhouse, sure, but he is about as world class as I am a beautiful blushing bride. I mean, if you saw me walking down the aisle, you'd probably headbutt the priest and escape through the fire exit door. I'm sorry, but at 31 years of age, he offers such a monstrous Floyd Mayweather-esque pay packet, living a life of luxury and royalty, and still having talented teammates like Eskan Alioski, Roger Ibanez, Roberto Firmino, Edouard Mendy, Gabri Veiga, Mary Demiral, Frank Kessie, and Alisson Maximin. That is the bulk of a top-class five-a-side match. I mean, it's not like he's been given J.K. Rowling money to go and play football with a bunch of homeless cats. TP must be very, very excited. Aston Villa, Douglas Luiz, Juventus. Douglas Luiz must feel like he's won the lottery, but I know Juventus are far from being that world-class winning machine they recently were, but still, Luiz is a 26-year-old Brazilian international midfielder who was probably hurt to never even be given his Manchester City debut. This is someone who did the whole 2-year initiation loan spell at Girona, and still was denied a work permit. I mean, he was then magically given one when he was sold to Aston Villa, but that's only because Villa could prove to the Home Office that he was integral to their first team plans, because everyone knew that at Man City, he was just the next Fabian Delph, some useless, unwanted munchkin eating Mikado biscuits on the bench. That must have been embarrassing for the bloke. But to now be on the verge of a £42 million move to a European powerhouse like Juventus, this is now a validation for the whole Luiz family. Bournemouth, Mark Travers, Celtic. Look, I know that Dominic Solanke is linked with a £65 million return to Chelsea, and the man is probably dancing around his kitchen, excitedly throwing milkshakes at the wall. But doesn't this one sort of stink of when Chelsea bought Romelu Lukaku back to the club after also ignoring him as a youngster? Yeah, both he and Solanke were quickly flogged to Merseyside. It's like Chelsea never learned. No, I think the most exciting link is 25-year-old forgotten Irish goalkeeper Mark Travers apparently being offered a move to Celtic. Lads, this is a man whose confidence has been broken ever since letting in 9 on a Premier League trip to Liverpool 2 years ago. But just look at Joe Hart. He was the epitome of a broken shell goalkeeper who Celtic successfully rehabilitated. I mean, the man has fallen back in love with football. Don't forget, this is somebody who Nuno Santo told was too old at Spurs. He looked like he would sooner chew dogweed out of his own Santa beard than even give Hart a chance. So for the Celtic fans to then treat him like a king, that meant the world to Hart. And it's not just Celtic. Jack Butland was in Travers' shoes as well, completely ignored at Crystal Palace and Manchester United. He now had the confidence levels of a teenage tortoise struggling to read. And yet, one Rangers move later, and he's got a Gareth Southgate actively watching him in the crowd. Honestly, a move to Celtic would be the making of Travers' career. Brentford, Brian Mbeumo, Liverpool. Yeah, surprisingly, the world has gone quiet on the Ivan Toney interest after a pretty tame second half of the season for Brentford. The guy doesn't exactly have Bayern Munich and Barcelona beating down the door for his signature. I mean, this guy probably dreamed of a super move this summer that overnight he would become the most famous Tony in the world. Even more so than the one off the Frosties box. But no, instead it's his speedy strike partner Brian Mbeumo, who weirdly as a cut price transfer link with Liverpool. I mean, it's an exciting move for the guy, although not really for Liverpool fans. At his best, at his absolute best, he'll just be for Liverpool what Craig Bellamy was. Just a 6 or 7 goal a season striker. Brighton, Pascal Gross, Borussia Dortmund. You know what? it's about time. It is about time that Pascal Gross was actually given a huge monster club back in Germany. I know he's just turned 33, but still, he's a full Germany international now, making his debut at 32. I think he's about to win the Euros this summer, so yeah, this Borussia Dortmund transfer, it makes sense. This is somebody who's been living beside the Brighton beach for 7 years now, so to be linked with the actual Champions League finalists, even reading about this transfer rumor in a Match magazine over breakfast, Gross is probably still choking on a fried egg as we speak. Apparently this deal is close. Dortmund are closing on an £8 million deal. Gross will sign a 3-year deal with BVB. I'm sorry, but if this new vegan, wunderkid hipster coach tries to block this move from happening, wouldn't be surprised to see Gross sneak into his house to do a poo in his shoes. Chelsea, Nicolas Jackson at Atletico Madrid. I'll admit it, this one is strange. I don't think the Premier League has made their mind up yet on whether Nicolas Jackson is actually good or not. Yeah, this Chelsea striker knocked in 17 goals last season, but I don't know, he did seem to sort of accidentally fumble in some of those in really weird circumstances, like when he scored a hat-trick against Spurs when they only had about 6 players left on the pitch. He reminds me of Solomon Kalou, who, to be fair, he was a better goal scorer than anyone ever remembered. Wikipedia is his friend because this bloke actually scored 60 goals for Chelsea. He had double digits 4 seasons in a row, and yeah, I just remember him being an erratic dolphin in front of goal. Jackson is another one, somebody who can spend 75% of the season looking like someone who won his Chelsea contract in the packet of crisps, but will still end up challenging for the Golden Boot. Anyway, Atletico Madrid want him, according to reports, being offered the chance to replace Memphis Depay at a Champions League giant. That is a huge move for Jackson. But are Atletico not scarred by the name Jackson? No, I'm not accusing the chairman of having spent any time playing Crash Bandicoot at the Neverland Ranch. No, I just remember when they sanctioned a club record deal for FC Porto striker Jackson Martinez, and he was awful beyond belief. Crystal Palace, Michael Olise, Bayern Munich. Yeah, pretty much. Is Michael Olise playing 4D chess? He looked like a brave little bunny rabbit, turning down a lucrative move to Chelsea last summer to instead pen a fat new contract at Crystal Palace. I'll admit it, I thought he was making the same naive mistake that Wilfred Zaha did. An absolutely sizzling Palace baller, getting hypnotized by a new pay rise and effectively chaining his career to Steve Parish's bedroom toilet, something he would very quickly regret. No. Olise knew what he was doing. He chucked in a £50 million release clause and went to produce another cracking season at Selhurst Park to now earn him a huge move to European monsters Bayern Munich. Yeah, I know, on paper, he's just going to be playing for the same coach who got Burnley relegated, but so? Come on, it's Bayern. Both Jamal Musiala and Michael Olise in the same team together. Bayern Munich are going to become every English fan's most hated team because both Musiala and Olise, when they team up, become the most aesthetically pleasing double act in the world. 2 mini Ronaldinhos. Everyone is going to remember that, oh yeah, they could have been doing this together for England. Instead, they both decided to be German and French. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. Excuse me while I laugh like a chipmunk. Sorry, that was strange. Everton, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, AC Milan. What is this? Why must AC Milan continue to embarrass themselves like this? Lads, I remember when Milan were the most feared club in world football, a true bastion of the sport, who carried themselves with dignity and poise. That was old AC Milan. New AC Milan, the AC Milan over the last 10 years. Some of their transfer rumors have made them look embarrassing. Ever since they signed Sunderland clown Fabio Borini, this is a club that would just let themselves go. I mean, by May 2020, they were apparently trying to sign Jeff Hendrick from Burnley on a free. Yes, Jeff Hendrick. I am a better footballer than Jeff Hendrick. He has got the first touch of a slice of burnt meatloaf. Seeing him in the Milan changing room, sitting in what was once Kaká's seat, it would be like seeing the Jedward twins squeezing their way onto King Charles' throne. Anyway, AC Milan are back at it again. Newcastle have pulled out of the £40 million race for injury-prone centre forward Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but the Italians, oh, they see him as a replacement for Olivier Giroud? How exciting must this be? I mean, strikers have won the Ballon d'Or whilst playing up front for Milan, but forget all that. Isn't Milan the fashion capital of the world? No longer will DCL have to feel embarrassed for wearing a miniskirt and high heels around Liverpool city centre, having to dodge hot dogs being thrown at him by angry Scouse taxi drivers. DCL in Milan, he could go full ugly Betty. Fulham, João Palhinha, Bayern Munich. Yep, João Palhinha is finally getting his dream Bayern Munich transfer.
Good things come to those who wait.
Right? Ipswich Town, nobody. Yeah, nobody wants to leave Ipswich Town, and nobody wants any of their players. Next, Leicester City, Wilfred Ndidi, Marseille. Yeah, Wilfred Ndidi becomes a free agent at Leicester City in a couple of weeks. Didn't this Nigerian defensive midfielder once have an £80 million price tag on his head? Now, he's still only 27, and he's available for less than the price of a nice pup. He is currently linked with Marseille, which is interesting. I'm not saying that Marseille is a particularly desirable move. No, but I can't say I'm not fascinated by them. They are a complete basket case of a club. They are ridiculous. The Watford of France. This club has gone through 15 managers since Didier Deschamps left in 2012. But look at some of their recent appointments. They don't even want stability. They've hired the likes of Igor Tudor, Jorge Sampaolo, Marcelino, Gennaro Gattuso, and now Roberto De Zerbi. All those guys have consistently proven they do not stick around anywhere long. They all last about a year in jobs. Marseille are like that desperate mum who keeps shacking up desperate short-term boyfriends, chucking them out on the street whenever they get sick of them snoring like a wild boar. So Marseille under De Zerbi will very quickly become a car crash, but boy will it be fun to watch. Liverpool, Luiz, Diaz, Barcelona. Look, apparently Virgil van Dijk has been offered a stupendous contract by Al Nassr, but still, the most exciting potential summer transfer exit is Luiz Diaz. Apparently this Colombian winger is Barcelona sporting director Deco's main obsession. I mean, to be fair, to me, it looks like Deco's main obsession is probably eating mini rolls on the toilet, but look, he's an absolutely silky flair player. Of course Barca would want this devastatingly exciting winger. And yeah, I know he's already at an old age of 27, but Luis Suarez did this exact same transfer at 27 too. Barcelona is Diaz's dream transfer. Fine, sell him to the new camp and then wrap up a deal for Nico Williams. Although, to be fair, it might confuse some of the elderly granddads in the Anfield crowd when they see Nico Williams' name back on the team sheet.
I thought we got rid of that useless Welsh muffin.
Man City, Ederson, Al Nassr. You know what? Why not? Look, Ederson is arguably the most mistreated goalkeeper in the world. This is somebody who's one of the most complete goalies I've ever seen. And yet, he's got less than 30 caps for Brazil. Bear in mind, Dida had nearly 100. Honestly, lads, Dida was just the Brazilian David James. So not only is Ederson ignored by his national side, but at club level, he is paid less money than Aaron Ramsdale, who doesn't even play. He's on just £100,000 a week. How has he not asked for more money yet? If he chose to quit City in the morning, Pep Guardiola would panic more than a teenage mum who's accidentally left her baby in the fridge. Apparently, the 30-year-old Ederson has an offer on the table from Al Nassr, which would make him the best paid goalkeeper in the world. £24 million a year. That is £461,000 a week. Nearly 5 times his current salary. Insane money. Man United, Marcus Rashford, PSG. Look, PSG had been linked to Marcus Rashford for years. Surely this move has to happen someday. If I'm Rashford, then I am absolutely sick of the English media and how poisonous the Manchester United camp has been for years. There's clearly ridiculous talent in this bloke's feet. But come on, this isn't working. He's not even in the England squad, which for a 26-year-old Rashford, someone who effortlessly went to Euro 2016 as a teenage boy after just a handful of goals, that is actually a disgrace. There is a superstar void to be filled at PSG right now. There's no more Messi, Neymar, or Mbappe. So who are they going to put on the billboards? Lee Kang in? Those Parisians want and need a new marquee sign to worship. Someone like Rashford. He has enough natural skill and talent to win the league on Golden Boot with absolute ease. I mean, come on. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang scores goals in that league. Honestly, Rashford, go to PSG and once again, be a complete star. Newcastle, Yankuba Minte, Borussia Dortmund. This looks all sorts of pathetic. Newcastle United are very clearly sitting on a very talented right winger who is going to leave the club without ever having made his debut, which I think they will massively regret. Minte is a 19-year-old winger who just tore it up on loan at Arne Schlott's Feyenoord, and now as Everton, Roma, Marseille, Lyon and Borussia Dortmund interested in his signature. I mean, the most exciting move out of that bunch is clearly Dortmund apparently want him to replace Jadon Sancho on the wing. Seeing how that club develop young talent, then this is surely a huge move for the Gambian kid. Nottingham Forest, Murillo, Chelsea. Yeah, pretty simple. Nottingham Forest player of the season, Brazilian beefcake centre-back Murillo is linked to the move to Chelsea. That's gotta be exciting for a 21-year-old who has been consistently ignored by every age level for Brazil. Honestly, the only time he's been able to wear a Brazil shirt is when he's watching the games on TV. Southampton, Romain Perraud, Real Betis. Here we have 26-year-old French left-back Romain Perraud, who, let's be honest, was a bit of a defensive flop at Southampton. He skipped the championship season, just went out on loan to Nice, and is now on the verge of a move to Real Betis, a Spanish team who are in the Europa Conference League next season, and have been a bit of a rehabilitation home for washed-up Prem flops. I mean, look at their squad now. Man City mess Claudio Bravo is still getting games of 41. Hector Bellerin was laughed out of Arsenal, and while at Betis, he got himself back in the Spain squad last year. And Ioti Perez, Leicester City joke. Yeah, he's literally at Euro 2024, making his Spain debut at 30. Perraud, get excited. Betis will probably make a French international out of him. Tottenham, Emerson Royal, AC Milan. Yeah, here's 25-year-old Brazilian right-wing back, Emerson Royal. The classic example of a Brazilian defender who cannot defend. No, but he seriously can't. And yet is apparently getting a move to the great AC Milan. Wow. Atletico Mineiro, Barcelona, and AC Milan. All this guy needs to do is get a move to PSG after that, and and he's pretty much copied Ronaldinho's career. West Ham, Danny Ings, Southampton. Yeah, apparently unwanted West Ham striker Danny Ings is being sounded out over a return to Southampton, a club where he played the best football of his career, rivaling for the Golden Boot, getting in the England team and scoring to a chance to end his London nightmare and get a homecoming return. For a 31-year-old Ings, this transfer would be a dream. Wolves Max Kilman, Newcastle. 27-year-old Wolves centre-back Max Kilman has two Premier League clubs chasing him, West Ham and Newcastle, with the Magpies apparently having a cash plus player deal rejected. They wanted to give Wolves their homegrown midfielder Elliot Ederson, someone who has failed to score in his 55 games for the Toon. Wolves politely said no, but Aussie Kilman is being offered a job by an ambitious club who were in the Champions League a year ago. Yeah, of course this is an exciting move. If Newcastle start next season with the back four of Trippier, Shaw, Kilman and Kelly, that should be a rock solid defence. Anyway, that's Stephen. What do you think? Let me know. What do you think? What is the most exciting move in that list? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give a like, share, and subscribe as always. I'll talk to you in a while.